Get your mic from in front of your face. What's that?
Front facing.
Don't put it in there.
Oh, never do no lies.
Why not?
I ain't never done before.
It's so dark, bro.
Privacy, man. It's a privacy.
Man, take that foolishness off, bro. Man, it's real, man. Take that foolishness off, man. What we got going on with these headphones, bro?
I gotta get on there. Untangle. We go to one you love right here.
Hey! Got it?
That's where we got the bass in it right there.
Hey!
Yeah.
Man, this is
Not yours.
This is what we're gonna do here.
There it is.
ooh!
There it is.
Ooh!
We can untangle the wires.
Oh, this my joint here, man. I'm gonna start y'all off with that her. I'm gonna start y'all off with some stuff, man. So y'all know what's happening.
I do like this.
So y'all know what's happening. You got Silver Sally.
There we go.
Who you might
The
take
law
off,
of
man?
success.
Who you might take? Who you
Come
might
on,
post?
man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Bring it up just a little bit. There you go. There you go. There you go. Mike's live. Mike's live.
Man, come on down, man. Some of your face, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Teach you something, man.
Mike's live, gentlemen. Mike's live, gentlemen.
Man, we not gonna say nothing, man.
I know
You gotta keep saying that over and
Don't
over
you
and
talk
over,
about
man.
Trump. Don't you say that about your president.
You gotta say that over and over
I'm
and
saying
over.
what I said now.
And that's it?
I done said it.
Is that him?
You want Trump?
Nah, man. One of our colleagues.
Hey, 3 words per
One of our
page.
colleagues. Huh?
3 words per page.
Hey, bro. Let me show you something, man. I'm gonna educate you one of these days. Just cause you ain't go to Howard, man. Hey, good evening, good evening, good. Hey!
Oh, Lord.
Hey! Hey!
That's a joke of
Hey!
that.
Hey! Hey, hey, hey! I ain't been here either. Hey, hey, hey! I ain't been here either.
Lord.
Hey, hey, hey! It's been 1, 2, 3. It's been 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Hey, hey, hey!
You're sleeping.
Hey, 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 hey! Appreciate y'all tuning in. Hey, I appreciate y'all tuning in. You know what I'm saying?
I see y'all.
Welcome to the. I can't. All right, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hey, hey, hey! Hey, man, it's been 3 weeks, bro. Like,
You missed
and
it.
guess what, man? 3 weeks ago, I had my mystery guest on 3 weeks ago. So we brought it back, man. The African Renaissance, man.
Oh, come on now.
We brought him back, man. That AKA Justice, AKA the brilliant one. We brought the brilliant one on.
Brain. Call him
The brain, yeah, the brain. We brought the brain back on. He reached out to me. We was gonna do a little talking, man. He kind of eased. You know somebody, man. You know when you wait a minute,
He
man.
suck
Hold
it in
on,
on
man.
you.
Hey, wait,
Y'all
man.
think
Y'all
suck it in.
time out, man. Y'all doing too much. It's 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all doing too much. Y'all know that's not how we do this on this show.
Come on.
Right? So the way this show goes is how? How does this show go?
Tell
Good
me.
evening, good evening, good evening, good evening.
There you go. Now
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm your host, Joaquin Thompson Sr., and we coming to you live from
Lil Burn.
Little Burn,
Lil Burn.
Little Burn,
Lil Burn.
Lil
There
Burn,
you go. There you go.
Lil Burn, Georgia, which is right outside, which is right outside of Atlanta, so they say.
On the other side.
On the other side, and this show, if you join us for the very first time, this show is about personal finance. Now, got to get the ground rules. 2020, new decade, new year, new everything. So we got a lot of people tuning in. But let me give you the ground rules. Ground rule number 1. This show is about personal finance from a spiritual perspective. That means this. We only do one thing on this show, and that's God. We don't do religion on the Daily Bread. So if you feel some type of way, the phone number, number 2, the phone number to the show, put it in the chat, 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. If you feel like we should be doing it from a religious perspective, then give us a call. Let us know your thoughts, your comments, your feedback, how you feeling, what you're thinking, all of that. So that's what the Daily Bread is about. And this is episode, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, carry the 1, plus 2. 131 episodes. Now, the thing that I'm going to ask you to do is this. Because the Tonight Show is about my love.
Oh, Lord.
And I don't mean... I don't mean no physical. I don't mean no physical love. I'm talking about what you're passionate about. And it's 3 types of rain. Soft rain.
Lord Jesus.
Hard rain. No, that's all. Light rain. Hard rain. That's the kind you hear on this. Pap, pap, pap. Hard rain and soaking rain. And the Daily Bread is what kind? Soaking rain. So that means that it just rain, gets you saturated till you get down to the middle.
Now give credit where you got that from.
I got that from...
Spiritual Talk Minister Neil.
Okay, I got that from Spiritual Talk Minister Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give him credit, man.
That's who, give him credit to Spiritual Talk.
Look here. You got
We was just on, hey man, make sure y'all, at 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Man, I know what time the man show come on. 6:30, 8 o'clock, every Thursday.
Brian Stewart said, Big D checking in. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Big D. Happy New Year, man. To the one and only.
James Peters.
James Peters. Hey! My partner in crime. Well, I've been calling them leads. I got some more stuff for us. James Peters. So stay tuned. But say who?
One more.
What's up?
This one.
Who is this? Who is one more?
It might be special to you because this one here said this is
Who's one
Andre
more?
Parker. Said, Unc.
Hey! Well, that's nephew. That's nephew, man. That's nephew, man. Coming all the way in from Duval. But
He said,
yeah, I got my mystery guest on, man. The brain, and I'm gonna jump right in, man, because you talking to somebody sometime about a topic, like you just having a conversation. You say, yeah, man, and that's and such. So me and this young brother right here, yeah, man, we want some water, man. God darn, hot in here, man.
Catch it, man.
God,
There you go.
Now you're not supposed to drink when you're on the air. That's why I put that up. But me and this young brother here, man. Listen, man. This young man here is a man after my own heart, man. Real talk. But me and him was having a conversation about a different topic, and he said, "Well, hey, do you want to meet like before your show?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that'd be convenient. Me and you can meet. We can talk about that. Woo woo. That'd be it, right?"
Come on.
So then he said, well, yeah. But since I'm already be out there, do you think that I said, I said, do I think what? He said, do you think I could be? I said, wait a minute, bro. I said, wait a minute. Are you asking to be back on the show? He said, do you have a guest? I said, I don't have no guest, man. Come on on, man. So we got the the man, Cortland, Mallory, Morehouse, man, 2019. This brother here, man, he has so much knowledge. So we gonna have him. He has a theory. Here's a theory. For people that know me, I'm a scientist by trade. I'm a microbiologist first. That was my first degree, microbiology, looking at all the different aerobic and anaerobic and gram-positive and gram-negative cocci. But this brother here, man, from a social science standpoint, man, brilliant young mind, brilliant young man. And so I wanted to always, provide an opportunity, provide a platform, because I could tell he really enjoyed himself being on that was the last show we did in 2019, right? So I'm, I joke with him a lot, but I'm thankful that he came back on. He came with the
Daishiki.
Well, leave that man alone, man. That man got a
Hey, man, this joke came in with Man, that man came in here with a dashiki on.
Leave that man alone, man.
Some sweatpants, some burgundy some burgundy sweatpants, some burgundy Man, y'all gotta close y'all eyes and
I ain't
envision
gonna
this.
take this from a dude.
This
in a
brother
gray
said,
hoodie.
listen, man,
I
this
can't.
brother came
Wearing
with
a
some.
hat indoors.
With-
He gonna
with-
come into me. He
This
gonna come
brother,
at me.
look, man, look. This brother came in here with, I said, damn, where he at? And when he came, but he was sitting in the car. I said, oh, I said, what's up, bro? Come on, man, let's go. Man, that dude opened the car door. When he opened that car door, man, man, I said, well, dang, dog got on the dashiki. Dog got on the
Get him off me,
dashiki.
man. Get him off.
No, dog got on the dashiki. And I said, oh, that's cool. I ain't tripping. He got on the dashiki. But I looked, I said, I know this joker did not come on my show with a dashiki on, with some burgundy sweatpants and some black horses.
Talk about business.
I said, man.
Talk about business.
I said, man, where is he? I said, man, nephew, what you? I said, bro, okay. He said, hey, man. But this dude's so cold, he's like, what? I don't, whatever. So, I'm just saying, I didn't, I thought that had passed, but he what you, 22?
22.
He 22, so he must be still going.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm with it.
Hey, how's it be?
I'm down with it, but so that's what we're gonna do tonight. And tonight, man, we talking about man, I'm already tired, man. I'm hoarse.
Well, if you want, I can take over for you, buddy.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah. All right. Wonderful.
Introduce yourself.
Wonderful, wonderful. Hello, everybody.
I'm pooping out.
Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Bread Show. My name is Cortland Mallory. I'm known better in the streets of Atlanta as Justice. And the thing about me is I'm actually a licensed life agent and insurance professional. So I've been spending a lot of time just looking to find those different investment tools between the stock market, between credit, between real estate, between insurance, to see where is certain types of investments. One I was looking for was, where do I put $10 and I know that no matter what happens, in a few days, I'm not going to have less than $10. I wanted the investment where you could put it in and you knew that it at least wasn't going down.
You said in 10 days.
It's not at least going, it's just not going down.
Okay.
We're looking for the guaranteed investment that's only going to go up.
But we only can keep it in 10 days.
We're keeping it as long as we keep it. It don't matter how
That
long
ain't what
we
you
keep
said
it.
earlier, because this is Daily Bread. That ain't what you said
I don't
earlier.
know how he gets. Y'all know
All
how
right.
he gets. Ain't you know what I'm saying, right?
No. This is the Daily Bread.
Here we go. Here we go. All right. I'll break it down pretty simply, right? There's the index market.
Okay,
There's the fixed market
for sure.
and the variable market.
For sure.
In the variable market, you can put in $1, and your $1 has the potential to go up and become $2, therefore doubling, and it has the potential to become $0, meaning that you lost all of your money. That's the variable market. It goes up, it goes down, you can't control it. In the fixed market, you put your money there, it doesn't go up, it doesn't go down, but it is safe. A lot of people think of the fixed market as not quite your bank, but the new pseudo banks that we have these days, like your cash apps. Places that you can send money where it doesn't do anything, it doesn't go anywhere, but it's just sitting there. We consider that a fixed market transaction. The one that you find in insurance is called the indexed market. And in the indexed market, there is a lower limit. This lower limit prevents you from going down below the initial investment, and there's an upper limit that stops you from gaining a certain amount of interest on the money you put in, which means you'll always gain, but you won't gain as much as you possibly could have, and you won't lose your principal or your original. This is something I found in insurance.
$10. So where I'm gonna put my $10 at?
Where are you gonna put your $10 at?
Let's see, I'm gonna put my $10.
Put it on the
You
table.
got $10?
I got $10.
You got $10?
I think this is my last.
Show me the $10. All right, let me show you where to put it.
Nah, you ain't gotta touch it. Just look at it.
Just
Don't do no magic tricks with my
That's
money.
how you know you broke, right? You
You know what I'm saying?
got $10. He said, "No, I can't let this out my
I
possession."
can't trust it.
So I gotta keep my eye on this $10.
There you go. There you go, right there. Don't touch it. Don't do that, man. Just
How am I
focus.
supposed to invest it?
Focus, bro. You
How
gonna
am I
invest
supposed
it.
to invest
Here you go. Look, tell them what you gonna do with it. Tell
So,
them.
I figured I could
No matter
come
of fact,
here.
you got 30, man. You got $30 to invest.
$30. Let me see.
No, just keep
I still
going,
got
bro.
some.
Keep going.
Ah, okay,
Keep going. Don't
So,
get sidetracked, bro.
With my man Joaquin's $30, I would probably not even gonna hold you. Put it in the stock market. It's not enough. It's not enough for this. It's not enough for what I'm talking about. Put it in the stock market.
You said $10. You said 10. I
Put
gave you
your
30.
put your $10, put your $30 in the stock market, because that's all you can afford, bro, boy.
Hey,
That's
man.
what it is.
Hey,
That's
man.
what that. Hey, stock.
This the daily bread. Hey, this the daily bread.
$5 a stock.
But that's just what you see. That's what you see.
It
You don't
is
see.
just
You
what
don't
you
see it like that on the stock market.
It is
no more.
what you see. And so
it's ones and zeros.
ones and zeros.
Ones and zeros.
Binary code all day.
Come on, man.
And so
Come
I
on.
figured I could come here and show you guys all these different things. I mean, in life insurance, that's actually considered a tax haven, meaning that the money that you receive from certain insurance products isn't taxable as income. So $1 million payout in certain forms from an insurance company, from an insurance policy, is just $1 million. It's not going to be.
And we said we weren't gonna go there, but you inching.
We said we wasn't
You
going to go
inching
there.
on over there. You.
But this is all leading up. This is all leading up, right? So we can go into the topics,
I ain't
right?
gonna do it.
You can talk about infinite banking, and we can talk about universal life strategies. However, you need a lot of money to do stuff.
No, you don't, man. No, you don't.
We
bruh.
disagree. You know,
No, you
as
don't.
finance experts tend to do, we disagree on the approach most people should take in this context. And so, I thought that I should do something that
All right.
usually isn't done in our communities with people who look like us. I did not do this for
Look
myself.
like who? Who is us?
Look at us. We
You
chocolate.
guys-
We
No, I'm talking
chocolate
about
people.
the Dutchies.
Oh, no, we
me.
chocolate people.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
we
thought.
chocolate.
Oh, I
Yeah, we
thought you talking about us.
I'm just talking about chocolate people.
All right, I'm with you.
One thing we don't tend to do is plan. Planning is something that we don't tend to do. And specifically, we don't plan our own lives. So I thought that the best thing I could share with all of our viewers is something they could make use of with $0. And that is life planning. So I've actually wrote up a bit of a
Diagram.
a bit of a something over here.
A diagram,
on the left, if I could get a little bit of help pushing you guys
dissertation
over
diagram.
to see such.
Well, go on and pivot, man. Go on over
Yeah,
there.
let me go
Look, man,
ahead
you
and
ain't gonna
pivot.
have the whole show to
Yeah,
do
you
that. So
gonna
I'm
have
like,
to help me out with
you got
this.
to talk fast.
You got to help me out with my IG live.
But what, man? It's the IG line. Man, why you still got that thing on here, bro?
Don't worry about it.
They see you, man. Go ahead. You popular.
I am popular. So I hope. I hope
Y'all
that
see
you
them
guys can
burgers?
see this. Can you guys?
Y'all see them?
That's much better.
Go ahead, dog. Do it.
How
Do
is
it,
this
man.
all sitting with you all? Let me see if I can bring this over a little bit. Can you read it?
Yeah, it's good. You good with it?
You good, man. Stop moving stuff, man, before it falls, bro.
Bet. So this is planning your life. What we did here is we compiled a bunch of different data points from the different historians that'll actually map out your life when you pass. This is something
Why
that
am I
a
working
lot
on my
of
show?
oh
That's all I want to know.
Hey.
Why am I doing this?
hey man,
Because you're a
I
perfectionist.
mean
You must be special,
you're
bro.
the CEO. You know
You
what
must
I'm
be
saying?
special.
You run the
You
boat.
must be special.
You're driving the boat.
You must be
know what I'm
special.
saying? CEO's driving the boat. So on this planning your life diagram, we break this up into multiple sections. That is your family, education, money, media, and yourself. I'm going to break that down. We have different colored lines here to show you which line denotes which aspect of your life. One thing that we need to do to get on the same page about how this all works is that there's two things that are guaranteed to happen in your life. You're going to be born and you're going to die. I'm sorry. Look, somebody's feelings just got hurt. Somebody's feelings just got hurt. But that is how this whole thing is based on. Once you realize you were born at some point and you're going to die, you realize there's a time in between that you can choose what you want to do and where you want to do it at to get where you want to be. This is something that we don't tend to take time out to think about. So, let's say that this birth year is 2000, and it is now 2020. I'm a 20-year-old American boy, all right? And when I was born, maybe about the first 10 years of my life, nothing happened, right? And then I went and I graduated from high school. This is the line of your education. The line of your education will say at what year you went and increased your education by which parameters. You have your high school diploma. You have your college undergraduate. You have your college graduate. You have your PhD programs. On this line, you will see that most presidents stop with their undergraduate degree in, and the last 3 president majors were business, political science, and history. We will go back around to that, right? As far as your family is concerned, as far as the timeline of your life goes, we don't spend too much time worrying about the deaths in your family, rather the births, the marriages, and the divorces. The major changes in your family life will have a huge impact on how you live your day-to-day life, and it'll put a lot of good context in why you're doing what you're doing while you're doing it during that period of time. However, if you're somebody who does want to get married or doesn't want to get married, by writing this out, you can see, do I want to get married before or after college? Or do I want to start a business first or wait? Or what? This allows you to get a little bit more context. You can sit back and you can say, what in ideal terms will my life wash out to be, right? As far as money is concerned, on this, we'll put any time that a business is started, anytime a business dissolves, anytime a person is sued or receives a settlement, as well as one other factor, which is, what's that thing Donald Trump did? It's on the tip of my tongue. File for bankruptcy. Filing for bankruptcy is the other thing that we're going to put on the money line. Anytime that any of those actions occur, you put that on the timeline relative to the year, right? And the last one is media. Getting exposure through media is everything these days. It is everything these days. If you were featured in a magazine, if you were featured on a podcast, if you were featured on a TV show, any of the above, these sorts of appearances.
Wait a minute, TV
will
show?
show up. A TV
A TV
show.
show?
A TV show. Television. Program.
Well,
Yes. Talk
Sunday
about
night,
it. Talk about it.
9:30, AIB TV. Tune in every Sunday night, 9:30. If you're in Georgia, Comcast, channel 295, AT&T U-verse, channel 6. If you're outside of Georgia, or if you're on another cable platform, AIBTV.com/AIB everywhere. That's TV show.
And if any of y'all know my mama, let her know, because Lord knows I ain't telling. So, as far as the media is concerned, make sure that you take note of all the different media outlets that recognize you throughout your life. And so you might be thinking, this is all great, but I'm not a celebrity. I don't mess with the media. You know what I mean? My education stopped once I got my high school diploma, and it's been family since then. That is A-okay. You are in a great position. In fact, congratulations. You did stuff you wanted to do. Look at that. In reality, start from point A. You are at a certain age right now, and you have things going on in your life. So figure out from your birth to where you are now, what has already happened in your life? Where have you already gone? These are things that will help you find out where you can go. Because, and I told Joaquin about this before we got started with the show. I decided to take a break. I took a step back and I thought, success isn't a secret. It's just not. If you want to be the prime minister, or if you want to be the president, or if you'd like to be the dean, all you have to do is look at the prime minister you want to be like, or the president you want to be like, or the dean you want to be like's bio, look at their resume, and look at their life. You will see where they went at each step of the way, and you can align your own journey to their journey. Now, we've been having a lot of conversations about finance lately, and about, you should do this, or you should do that, and
Hey, watch it now, watch it.
I mean, hey, at the end of the day,
Watch
there's
it.
no right answer for everybody. Everybody shouldn't necessarily do one thing in finance, except for plan out your life. That is the one thing that we plan where we're going. We plan what school we're going at.
Homecoming.
We plan homecoming. We plan our child's
reunion.
birth. We plan our birthday. You know what I'm saying? We plan our graduation.
Reunion.
You know what I'm saying? We plan our reunion. We plan everything except for our own lives. And this is something that I urge us all to do. Here are some tips to help you all out. I'm not sure where everybody's from, so I decided to list a couple of things. They're from everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere means we need to talk about some broad things. That'll help a lot of people. So my college students, I figured I'd start with you all because everybody just loves college students, right? Up here I've got hot majors. These are hot majors for college students. And why do I call it a hot major? It's a hot major because you can do a lot of different things with this major that you don't necessarily directly qualify for. And let me go ahead and break that down. So our hot majors, we've got four. We've got four hot majors. Political science. Hope we got some people out here who are poli-sci. We've got psychology. Psychology is a big one. Psychology is a big one.
Yeah.
We've got business. Any business degree. Finance, administration, management. I mean, everybody sees business and the rest of their, they're just for the rest of it. It's all right. And the last one is history. And everybody's like, history? What you gonna do with a history degree? You know what I'm saying? That's what they think. That's what they think. What you gonna do with a history thing? You want to know what you do with a history degree? You tell everybody all the mistakes we made in the past so that we can do the right thing in the future. People with that kind of visionary mindset, literally, George Bush Jr., the one who just got out, that was his major.
George W.
Yeah.
W.
I believe George W. Bush. Did he go to Yale maybe? Or was it Harvard? He went to Yale?
Yale.
He went to Yale. He got himself a history degree so he could learn how the people in the past made money. Turns out, oil, energy. You wanna know what he did after he got done with that history degree? And he learned that all the most successful, powerful people in the history of America invested in oil and energy businesses. He invested in oil and energy. Look at that. Look at that. That is what a history degree will do for you, people. That is what a history degree will
Hey
do
man, come
for
on,
you.
wrap it up, man. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
So I'm going to leave you with one more thing, and that's hot industries. There are several different industries that run everything that we do every single day. Some people have realized that there's not a single dollar in anybody's pocket that hasn't been lent. It's either been lent from a bank to a business or from a business to a bank. It doesn't matter. The bank has lent it at some point, and everybody's realizing that the banking industry is a big one. We've got technology. I'm on 4, 5, 6 different devices right now. Technology is important. Insurance. Do I need to say more? I'm breathing. Insurance will help my family when I stop breathing. So inherently a good thing. Inherently a good thing. Banking, as we talked about before, lending is how the economy, the world economy goes round. Understanding why we go into depressions, understanding why we go into recessions and how booms work. The concept that the bank might have $0 when you withdraw $10. When you try to hit it, they might not actually have your money. So understanding how banking works will help you understand the greater scheme of money. The last two industries are the legal industry, becoming a paralegal, becoming an attorney. Anybody who works within the context of the legal environment will receive international. People have a lot of respect for people who work in banking and legal, and that's internationally, because the same rules almost apply generally. Don't be mean to people, don't hurt people, ultimately, right? And the last thing is healthcare. Healthcare is one of those industries. It's not going away, people.
Woo-hoo!
Because you are in good health means you will be in bad health. That is what it means. Because you're in good health means you will eventually be in bad health. And with that comes all of the healthcare additions between techs, between the technological enhancement, between the way that they receive funding and banking. As you can quickly see, there are a lot of different ways you can tie all 5 of those industries in together. So let me go ahead and give you a recap. The things you need to think about for planning your life. Think about your family, the impact that you want to have on your family, the children you want to have or not have, the marriages you want to have or not have, and when you want to do them. Think about your education. Have you graduated from high school or received your GED? Are you thinking about pursuing a technical degree, a bachelor's, or an associate's degree? These will help. And like I said, presidents tend to have an undergraduate degree. Money. How much money do you want to make and how do you want to make it? Do you want to receive a settlement or do you want to receive a raise at your job? Some of the things that we unfortunately do not do is we walk into an opportunity and we think we are just so thankful to have the opportunity that we don't think to communicate where we see ourselves. Do we want that promotion? Do we want to move to another company? What exactly is our purpose in being here with this company? Are we looking to educate ourselves? Are we looking to empower ourselves financially? What exactly is the motive? Knowing that before you get there and telling upper management will help your career tremendously. Media, understanding when and where you've been mentioned and for what is very important for making sure that you are taken care of and you're managing your brand. The media can paint you in a very positive light and they can paint you in a very negative light, but you've got to be aware of it and map it out so that you can see why some things might begin to start happening in your life based on what you come up with. And then you is point A to point B. You are the car that we all talk about in all of these different things, like what kind of car do you want to drive? Do you just want something to get you to point A to point B or something luxurious? we're the point A to point B. This is the car. Your body is the car. The way you treat yourself and the people around you are the traffic, is the other vehicles. So think about it that way as you go through your life. Think about your next step and think about your last step. Think about these industries, technology, insurance, banking, legal, and healthcare, and think about the hot majors that you might be able to switch to or you might already have. Poli-sci, psychology, business, or history. My name is Cortland Mallory. I am the founder and CEO of Mallory Integration LLC, and thank you for your time. So, I'm breaking it up here. That's all I got here for you.
Come sit down.
Let's go on back to you sit down. How you gonna tell me to sit down and stand up? That's
Come
common.
on, man.
How you gonna tell me to sit down and stand
Come
up?
on, man. Come
That don't
on
make no
back,
sense.
man. Come on
That don't
back,
make no
man.
sense.
Well, you did that, boy.
Oh, well, thank you.
You did that, boy.
Oh, well, thank you.
You did that. He's 22. This our future. Hey, man, 22. 22, man. Get camera 2. There you go. Get camera.
There you go.
Man, you can't just handle that no any kind of way, bro. Why you gonna just twist it up like that, bro? Turn it back a little bit the other
No,
way.
that's what you need
No,
right
it looks
there.
perfect.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, do it.
Hey, man.
Let me do
who-
this.
who-
You do that.
who-
Let me do this.
Let the producer do it.
You do
Let
that.
Who show? Who?
Let the producer do his thing, bro.
Hey, man, listen, man. You did an outstanding job, bro.
Thank you.
That was outstanding, man. That was some stuff that I joke a lot on the show, but I joke a lot on the show. But that's what you call the essence, right? That's the essence, man. And the thing that was so profound is this: there's a lot of people on this, watching the show, tuning into the show, like me. I'm looking at this brother, 22. I'm 52, right? I was 30. When he came into the world, I was 30, right? But just look at 22, the type of knowledge that he's dropping at 22. So for all of my viewers out there, for everybody who's watching, this is why we have to do and have these type of dialogues so that way we can pass on this information to other young people and seasoned people. Because when he just broke down, and we talked about this before we came on the air, man, you said, hey, he wants to do this. And I was like, man, do it. Do it. That's what the Daily Bread was created for. Do it. Because when 30 years from now, I'm 82 and he's 52. But guess what? We still are having stimulating dialogue and he's teaching. Like this stuff that he just talked about, man, that's what you call the gospel. That's the gospel. So if you're not taking time, and it's so timely because this is the 9th day of the first year of the decade, right? So if you're not planning, if you haven't planned out your year, this year, and I just did some planning, I'm working with some clients, doing some financial coaching, and that's one of the things that I was talking to them about is you should know where all of your money is going for 2020 already. You should at least have a forecast so that way you would know when you're gonna get an extra check, you're gonna know when certain things are due. But if you're just working from a present mindset, then you're gonna miss things because you haven't planned and prepared for it. So if you expand that out and take a 5-year view and then a 10-year view, man, that's profound. Because in 10 years, just think about where you was at 10 years ago. That's where we are right now. Because 10 years ago, a lot of people weren't planning to be right here, right now, 10 years ago. But for some people, they were planning to be right here, right now, 10 years ago because they avoided certain pitfalls.
That is very true.
Huh?
You know how people, they'll sit back and they'll say, hey man, how did you do this? How did you get that? And I'll say, man, they planned it. They sat back and they said, I want to be on this TV show. And you know what? I'm going to
With
look
the Daily
up all the
Bread?
people. Yeah, you know what? I said I want to be on the Daily Bread TV show. And so I looked
10
through all
years
the
ago
guests.
you said that?
10 years ago.
And you
I
was
looked
12
back,
years old.
I looked through all the guests and I said, what did
You
these
looked at the
guests
bios
do?
of successful people?
I looked, yeah.
Howard
man.
University?
Look, I looked at all those people on the show and I said, what did all those people do to get where they were at?
Right.
And I
And
said,
then-
what have I done?
But see, and then the layer that you have to put on top of it is, what's in Habakkuk, right? You have to write the vision. You have to write the vision and make it plain. That's in the Bible. That's in Habakkuk. Write the vision and make it plain so that those that see it can run to it. You know what that means? That means that it's so plain that anybody that encounters your vision, if it's written out, they know exactly what you're saying. So when you put hey, I'm going to be the president of the U.S., you got to write it out. You can't hold it up here, be afraid to say it. Oh, they're going to laugh if I say I'm going to be a CEO. Oh, they're going to laugh if I say I'm going to be a swimsuit model. Oh, they're going to laugh if I say, I'm going to move into another neighborhood. So what? It don't matter. He just showed you. It don't matter anyway. He didn't show you multiple people. He showed you your line, right? Showed you your money. He showed you your activities. So people, I know it's people like, oh, I ain't go to college. Great. I mean, you ain't got to
don't gotta go to college.
You ain't got to go to college.
My argument to that is, man, check out all the people who are successful who didn't go to college too, and see what they did when they decided not to go to college.
See? So we're all encompassing. So what I'm saying for the beginning of the year, right? This is January. Before the end of January, you need to make a commitment to at least make a plan for 2020 up through 2025. Because I mean, and I'm not talking to you all, and I mean, people that know me, I can't stand people who give advice and don't do it. I have a calendar at home. It has a 1 year goal, 1 year goals, a set of 1 year goals, a set of 5 year goals, a set of 10-year goals, and a set of 20-year goals. So 20 years from now, when I'm 72 years old, I'm already thinking like, man, I don't. We'll be at episode. We're gonna be on episode 1345. But I'm already saying I'm thinking about things 20 years into the future, so that way you can deal with it now. You can deal with it incrementally now. See, people who become good, the difference between good and great is like this. Is this much? It's incremental. It's very small. It's the very small, minute details that's gonna make the difference between good and great. And if you give yourself a head start on where you're going, because a lot of people 10 years from now, they're gonna start thinking about it 10 years from now. But if you start thinking about it now and start planning now and start working on it now, that's why when I'm working in the industry that I'm in now with, just say the mortgages, right? People coming, oh, I'm not ready, my credit. I'm like, good, great. Guess what? We can take the next year, create, and paint the picture. We know the picture that the banks want to see. We know the debt income ratio. We know they want to look at the pay stubs. They're going to want 3 months of bank statements. We know all of that, right? So why not take the time and create it? You can create these things over time. But you can't just show up and say, oh, here's all my stuff. That ain't gonna work. That's not it. But you can take the time and plan for it, and it just puts you into a much, much better position. So, I mean, what this brother what he just laid on us, man, was very timely. It was very on point, and I'm glad to see someone at 22 years old has the type of foresight and forethought about these type of topics. Not something that's frivolous. Because what he's talking about, man, that's the keys to life. That's the keys. He's talking about something that's a principle, which is called modeling. That's the fastest way to duplicate something, is to model behavior. Any kind of behavior. You can model it. Anything that you want to do, anything that you want to see, the only thing you have to do is study a person that's already done it and model what they've done. And there's plenty of books on that. Malcolm Gladwell, Outliers. Right? All that kind of, it's right in the book. And he's telling you, in order for you, if you want to mimic what he did, it's going to take a minimum of 10,000 hours. It's going to take a minimum of 10,000 hours. So a lot of times when we're doing the Daily Bread show, like Minister Neal we was talking about on his show previously, sometimes people think we just doing these shows, right? Like, oh, it ain't that many people watching it. But guess what? I said 130 episodes, 1 hour. So there's 130 hours. And then we've done other stuff with the TV show. There are some hours. And then we've done shows for Morehouse. There's some hours. And then we've done some stuff over here. There are some hours. So once you hit 10,000, you're the expert. Even though you don't have 1 million followers, this, that, and other, you have the content. You've been practicing. You know all of the things to do and not to do. You just practicing. So, but people don't want to go through that part. They just want to get to the good part. Right? That was an old song. When we gonna get to the good part? Get out to the good part. When we gonna get to the good part? When we gonna get to it? But before we get to the good part, we got to go through the bad part, which is like now I'm calling all these prospects. Hey, this is Joaquin Thompson, preferred lender with Atlanta Real Estate Group. And I understand that you're in a home buyer. I don't want to buy no house. Who told you that? I'm like, so I'm already thinking in my mind, how many people did I have to go through to get to one person say, you know what, I do need some help with a mortgage. Beep, 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 beep. It might be 100 people, but guess what? I'm just pacing myself. I'm ready for it. And it don't matter to me. It could be 100, could be 200. But at least once I found out those numbers and I'm tracking it, right?
I you would say 1,000.
Could be 1,000.
That's a lot.
Could be 1,000, right? But see, that's the whole thing. 1,000 is a lot. But guess what? If that's what you really want, right? If that's what you really want, that's the problem. That's what's going on in the world right now. People are afraid to be disappointed, afraid of rejection, afraid of failure. But in order for you to get to success, that's what this book is about. That's the book of the week. I mean, it's a good segue to the book of the week. This book, other than this book is number one. This is number one. This is the Holy Bible. This is number one. So everybody got their own, some people might be on the Quran or what. I'm saying that this book, this is number one. After this book is number two. I will put this book up against anybody. You could call in 678-381-1973. I will put this book up against any book that anybody wants to recommend. Why? Because the person that wrote this book, listen to this. Typically, it takes how long to get a PhD? 4, 5 years? 6 if you, having a little struggle with your dissertation. So just say 4 years, right? 4 to 5 years. The author of this book studied the most successful people of his day. Wrigley, Henry Ford, Rockefeller, Wanamaker, all of these different, Kodak, right? J.P. Morgan. He studied all of the most successful people of his day for 25 years. 25 years, and then wrote this book. In this book is just what Courtney was just talking about. He's telling you, if you want to be like John D. Rockefeller, if you open this book, let me put y'all up on something. This is New Year, so I'm gonna show y'all something, and this is the original copy. Let me tell you some of the names that he studied, and this is 2020. Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Harvey Firestone, John D. Rockefeller, Charles Schwab, Woodrow Wilson, William Wrigley, James J. Hill, Captain George, Edward C. Barnes, George Eastman, that's from Eastman Kodak, Andrew Carnegie, John Wanamaker, Marshall Field, Edwin Bok, Henry Doherty, George S. Parker, right? Theodore Roosevelt. These are people that still had William Taft. I just named 3 presidents. General Rufus Ayers. So if you want to study success and somebody's giving you 25 years and he has the characteristics in here, all of the things that you can and cannot do is in this book. From cooperation to a pleasing personality to having a definite mind, a definite chief aim, to having accurate thoughts. All of this is right here in this book. The habit of savings, and he talks about it in this book. So this is the book of the week, The Law of Success. If you don't have a copy, get a copy. This is by Napoleon Hill. Most people know it for The Laws of Success. Well, not The Laws of Success, but Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich was an essay that came out of this book, just to show you how powerful this book is. This book is so powerful, they took it out of print. The government said, no, that's too much. Y'all giving them too much. So, it's just a good way for us to kind of get to the point where we're starting to wrap up 131, episode 131. And before I do that, before you all go running off and do it, listen to what I'm saying to you. Sunday nights, this is what this is talking about. Sunday night, 9:30 on AIB TV. The Daily Bread TV show, right? So this week is going to be episode 2 of season 2. Why is that important? It's important because it's on 2 cable platforms in Georgia. 2 million households. 2 million households in the state of Georgia. Comcast, channel 295, AT&T, UVerse, channel 6. If you're not on those 2 platforms, then it's streaming. Everybody's streaming content anyway. AIBTV.com/AIB everywhere. Why is that important? It's important because this week we're having one of the biggest music producers in music, not hip hop producers. I said music producers, period. Rihanna, Kevin Gates, NBA Young Thug, been on the Black Panther soundtrack. He's done stuff with Warner Brothers. He's doing stuff all over the globe, and this brother is under 30 years old. Young people doing humble, but what I'm gonna say to you is this: it's no other show on TV right now that's trying to truly and authentically inspire people to be better from a financial standpoint. So I know it's everything that has to go into the show is divine. Everything is in order, and it's already starting to grow. We've only had 1 episode to air, and it's already starting to grow. It's already, because people are like, is it on YouTube? Or is it on Facebook Live? I'm like, it's on TV, which is short for television. Television is, social media is big, but television is still bigger. It's still bigger. That's where you get, and if you think about African Americans in the media, what did he just talk about? African American. You can't name an African American that's been in the media industry that has not been successful. I challenge you. Just anybody. Just name somebody. Who? Ice Cube, media, right? Robert Townsend, media. Tyler Perry, media. Don Cornelius, media, right? Clarence Avant, the real Black Godfather, not to say Bumpy wasn't, but in the entertainment industry. Clarence Avant, media, right? The Hutland brothers, media, right? Dolomite. If you go back and look at the true Rudy Raymond story, media. Richard Pryor, media. Eddie Murphy, media. So I'm saying all that to say, we have the opportunity. Not only do we have the opportunity to have a show of that magnitude, but we also have the opportunity to bring on other sponsors that look like us, people that are trying to come up, people that otherwise wouldn't even be able to advertise on TV. We have advertisement opportunities as well. So people, like, yeah, I'm excited. I'm like, okay, well, let's do business with each other. Let's do business with each other, because that's what this is about. Because the bigger the Daily Bread grows, this brother right here, if you haven't already recognized, this brother right here needs this type of platform. So he can do it on social media, or he can have his own show with other 22-year-olds that's talking about what 22-year-olds talk about, right? But we have to be the person that usher in and open up those doors for him, so that way it would be feasible. So when he's doing his life plan, he can look and say, oh, I'm going to have this. I'm going to do that. So you can reach more people with that. I said 2 million households just in Georgia. We ain't even talking about the streaming. So, make sure that you tune in every Sunday night, because you know how TV works. If you don't watch, it don't work. It's period. If you don't watch, and we was joking about it, he was like, Cortland said, not me, because I'm going to tell you my thought on it, but he said, what time the show? I said, the show come on at 9:30. He said, on Sunday? I said, on Sundays at 9:30. He said, man, that's the same time as Power come on. I was like, good. That's good. And he was like, man, I said, but here's the thing. You can look at Ghost. You can look at Kanan. You can look at all of these different people who on Power, right? But when you turn Power off, when Power goes off, the episode ends, right? The question I would challenge you with is this: what did you learn? What did you learn? What can you put in play? Number two, what can you put in play? When you turn power off at 10 o'clock, what can you put in play? Can you put, now you're going to put, now you about to put the drug game in play? You about to open up the club so you can launder money in play?
The Serbs now.
Oh, now you working with the Serb? You about to put that in play?
Right,
Right, now you the plug? You going to put that in play? Or you can put it on your DVR and check out the Daily Bread and listen to somebody saying it's not about how you play the game, it's how you prepare to play the game. That's important. It's not about what type of grades you make. It's about what type of characteristics do you develop in kids, like good work ethic, good habits, good work habits. Can you use that with your kids and your kids' kids? So I always say, hey, you make the decision. You can do that. I mean, but me, I'm always going for educate, motivate, elevate. Educate, motivate, elevate. So I'm going to put my show up against any show that's out there because the show, The Daily Bread, I know where it came from. It came from here, and then it morphed into a television show, and it's just getting bigger. It's going to go from a television show to a network. So while we dreaming, that's what I call myself. I call myself Lil Bob Johnson.
Come on.
All right? I'm Lil Bob Johnson, LBJ. That's what I joke with myself. I'm all right, Lil Bob, with you. So I'm giving myself 5 years. In 5 years, I'm going to buy a network. So then if you buy a network, why is that important? Because if you buy a network like Tyler Perry, right, or Oprah, or you put yourself in a position to go into a partnership, even in a partnership, guess what? You have say-so on the programming. Why is that important? Because just the word itself, you have input on the programming. And what's being programmed? All of the people that are viewing your show are being programmed. All of the people that are watching over and over and over. So you keep hitting them with educate, motivate, elevate. Educate, motivate, elevate. I'm going to show you how to start a business. I'm going to show you how to fund a business. I'm going to show you how to get into real estate. I'm going to show you how to eliminate debt. I'm going to show you how to improve your credit score. Create good work habits. Educate, motivate, elevate. Programming. So you do that over a number of years, guess what? You change a whole group of people because they've been programmed. That's what the word programming, right? That's why it's important to own the content. And I own the show. I own the music. The music is copywritten. So just like Cortland was saying, we don't take that lightly. I looked at what Master P did, and I said, I'm gonna do the same thing. And that's what me and him was talking about earlier. It's like, I got a mortgage company. We're doing the Daily Bread. Okay, so we're gonna have to cross market. The podcast is gonna be promoted on the TV show. The TV show is gonna be promoted on the podcast. Now we're going to go out into the public. We're doing different seminars. As seen on TV. You get with a social media guru like this brother here. He teach you some stuff that you don't know, right? You weak in that area. Say, hey man, how we do this? That's why we do the Daily Bread. That's why we doing this. And it comes back to just what we was talking about. Planning. This didn't happen by accident. I didn't just stumble into like boo, boo, boo. Because we talking about the show that's on TV. The thing that I don't think a lot of people realize is I have a season 1 that was never released. I shot a 5-episode pilot for season 1 that was never released. Never released. Lee Baker's on it. And he was just in the news on CNBC as one of the top financial advisors in the country today. On Facebook, I just seen the post from Thel Misha today.
Should probably drop that one.
CNBC.com. Lee Baker, Apex Financial, classmate, 1985. He was on the first episode. Lee Baker, right? We had one of the top entertainers in the world, Saida Nairobi. She's one of the dancers for Beyonce. She's been on all of the different tours with Beyonce all over the globe. We had Anthony Eubanks, minister and financial expert. Had him on. Maya Dukes, branding expert. Devin Coleman, straight out of Jacksonville, from prison to the poet. This brother is telling his story about how he was in college, went to prison, came out of prison, and now he's motivating people all over Jacksonville, helping fathers. That was the first 5 episodes. And then we came back and shot a second episode. Had to shoot a second season because this wasn't what we thought. Now we got them. Because what we have now is what they thought it is. That's That's what my man said, right?
Mhm.
Dennis Green. They are who we thought they were.
Yep. Exactly.
That's us. So with that being said, hey, hope y'all got something out of this. Hope it's something that you can put in play right away. Don't take this as, entertainment. Like, we don't here laughing and joking. We laugh, we joke, we play, we have fun, but this is serious. This is serious because our lives and our children's lives depend on this. So with that being said, I want to thank Cortland, a.k.a. The Brain, for coming on with us, a.k.a. Justice, for coming on. We're going to keep him locked in. We'll keep bringing him back, man, because he loves what we're doing. I love what he, the presentation.
Exactly.
Want to thank, big shout out to our super producer,
Come on now.
Raheem Ajima.
Yes, sir.
My guy behind the scenes that's always in front of the scenes. I mean, he got us to 130 and we going to 1,000.
Going to 1,000.
We're going to 1,000. So the only thing I'm asking y'all to do, tune in, tell somebody else to tune in every Sunday night. TV, not social media, not YouTube, and not Facebook Live. TV every Sunday night, 9:30 to 10 o'clock. AIB TV, Comcast, channel 295, AT&T Uverse, channel 6. And you can stream it anywhere in the globe, anywhere all over the world at AIBTV.com/AIB everywhere. And I'll see you all Sunday night at 9:30. Y'all have a great week. Where the music?
Keep talking to him. Tell him.
Hey, have a great welcome with that.
Keep
Hey,
talking
well, check
to
this
him.
out. That ain't no problem because we can keep it going.
Thanks.
Lord knows I got more to say.
You know what I'm saying? We always got more to say, bro.
It's that bass.
We always got more to say. But y'all, hey, educate, motivate, elevate. Educate, motivate, elevate. Educate, motivate, elevate. And my arm hurt. And my arm hurt. And my arm hurt. Have it